Hi everyone, Cosmic Mango here, your favorite mango from outer space. I hope you are all doing well today. With the recent spoilers from the new upcoming set, Dominaria United, we have seen some wonderful new commanders. Many of them look incredible and very fun to play. In this video, I've chosen to talk about Joda, the Unifier, a very exciting new commander indeed. Joda is every color type in Magic, meaning we have access to a ridiculous amount of cards. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about some budget cards you can buy right now to create a Joda deck and do some work on the commander table. Okay, let's get into the list. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm going to start off with showing you Joda and reading the card text to show you what the card actually does. So Joda is a legendary human wizard who costs 1 of each color, 5 mana in total to cast. He says the following: legendary creatures you control get X plus X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So Joda rewards us for playing legendary spells, as when we cast one, we get to exile cards from the library until we exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana, and then cast it for free. When you cast anything for free, it's always a very strong mechanic, and it's very fun to play around. I think Tribal Legendary is maybe the best route for a Joda, especially a Joda deck, as he also buff ups our legendary creatures as well. I mean, giving plus X, where X is the number of legendary creatures we control, our creatures can get big quite fast. So, that's what Joda says and what he does. Now, let's get into the budget pickup guide. Let's start off with the instants and sorceries. Urza's Ruinous Blast, a legendary sorcery spell that costs 1 white and 4 colorless mana to cast. It says the following: you may cast a legendary sorcery only if you control a legendary creature or planeswalker. Exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. This card is excellent in a Joda deck, as most of our permanents will be legendary, meaning we get to board wipe our opponent's stuff and hopefully keep ours. We exile them too, which is superb. You can buy this card for around 50 cents. Primal's Glorious Rebirth, a legendary sorcery spell that costs 1 white, 1 black, and 5 colorless mana to cast. It says the following: you may cast legendary sorcery only if you control a legendary creature or planeswalker. Return all legendary permanent cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. An excellent card for us, as we'll be able to flood the board with our permanents from the graveyard, as long as they are legendary, which if we're playing a tribal Joda legendary deck, they most probably are. It does cost a lot of mana to cast, but I think this can be a game-winning card, especially in longer commander games. You can buy this card for around 50 cents. Kamal's Druidic Vow, a legendary sorcery spell that costs 2 green and X, which says the following: you may cast a legendary sorcery spell only if you control a legendary creature or planeswalker. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of land and or legendary permanent cards with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest into your graveyard. This combos so well with Joda, it almost feels like this card was built just for this deck. It's excellent, and you can buy it for just 39 cents. Definitely worth picking up. So those are the instants and sorceries I recommend, although I literally just spoke about sorceries in this video here. Now let's move on to the next stage of the video. Let's discuss the creatures I recommend for Joda decks that you can buy on a budget. Kethis, the Hidden Hand, a legendary creature, elf advisor that costs 1 white, 1 black, and 1 green mana to cast. It says the following: legendary spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Exile 2 legendary cards from your graveyard. Until the end of turn, each legendary card in your graveyard gains. You may play this card from your graveyard. Kethis is a powerhouse in the deck. If we are playing legendary tribal, he will shine so much. He also allows us to do something very cool, giving us graveyard recursion. I love this card. You can buy this card for around $2.50. Arvad the Cursed. Arvad is a legendary vampire knight creature that costs 1 black, 1 white, and 3 colorless mana to cast. It says the following: Death Touch lifelink. Other legendary creatures you control get +2/+2. I think Arvid fits nice and snug in this Joda deck. He will also buff up our legendary creatures just like how Joda does. The two together will be really good, give you big buffs here, and make your board very large. Swing, 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 and win the game, my friends. You can buy this card for around 25 cents. Wrath Cathasvin, Ship's Mage, a legendary creature human wizard that costs 1 white, 1 blue, and 2 colorless mana to cast. It says the following: Flash, Flying. You may cast historic spells as though they had flash. Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are historic. Giving us flash is huge, as most of our spells will be historic. This card is a must in Joda. You can buy it for just 25 cents. So those are the creatures. Now, let's discuss enchantments. Day of Destiny, a legendary enchantment spell that costs 1 white and 3 colorless mana to cast. It says the following: legendary creatures you control get +2/+2. This card is going to be great at buffing up our legendary creatures, and with Joda, the power up will be even more immense. You can buy this card for around $3. Maelstrom Nexus, an enchantment spell that costs 1 of each color, so 5 in total to cast. And it says the following: the first spell you cast each turn has Cascade. When you cast your first spell, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put the exile cards at the bottom of your library in a random order. This card is crazy with Joda, making you have so many triggers whenever you cast a spell, especially if it's a legendary spell. You're going to be having a lot of fun, however your opponents may be annoyed with how long your turn cycles are taking. You can buy this card for around 99 cents. It's a bargain, it's a good price for this card. So that's the enchantments done. Now, let's talk about the artifacts. Hero's Podium, a legendary artifact spell that costs 5 colorless mana to cast. It says the following: each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other legendary creature you control. X and tap, look at the top X cards of your library. You may reveal a legendary creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I feel like this card combos very nicely with Joda. It's a great card for the deck, and you can buy it for just 35 cents. Definitely worth a try. Mirror Box, an artifact spell that costs 3 colorless mana. It says the following: the legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. Each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1. Each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. I love Mirror Box, and I run it in a lot of my decks. I have great success with it in most of them as well, and I think it will do very well here as well. Buffing up our legendaries is very, very nice, and the non-token, non-legendary rule that doesn't apply, that's also pretty sweet. You can buy this card for just $1.70. So yes, I hope you enjoyed my list. Joda really looks powerful, and I'm excited to try the deck out. Please leave a comment on what you think of the cards I've chosen. It's always fun to chat to you in the comments. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. If you made it this far to the end of the video, you really are a legend. Thanks so much for supporting. Have a great day. Bye bye.